So you've done all your work in Photoshop. You've got your website ready to go more or less. And we've gotten it edited in Dreamweaver. So now it's time to upload it. Or perhaps even you haven't gotten your website edited in Dreamweaver, but you're ready to get your website set up so that when you have done the edits, you can just upload the files and they'll be ready to go. This quick tutorial and activity is going to show you how to get that server set up in Dreamweaver. So what we need to do first is go to the Site menu in Dreamweaver and select New Site. And this is the dialog box that we get. We want to name our site, and we're going to go ahead and just name it JMU.educ. That is the name of the server that JMU uses to allow students and faculty to have personal web space. In the local site folder, you want to leave most of this information the same. Depending on Mac or PC, this will be set to fall to either your documents or my documents. But here is the folder name that your files will actually be saved in. We're going to go ahead and put in the name of your JMU EID. So mine will look like this. Now before we hit save, we need to select servers, and we need to add the server we're going to connect to. So again, for the server name, JMU-EDUC, we're going to connect using secure FTP, and for our SFTP address, we're going to put in educ.jmu.edu. Port 22 is fine. Username will be your own JMU EID. So I'll put in mine, and I'm going to start putting in my password. Now you'll notice it automatically selected Save. Do not uncheck that box unless you will be accessing Dreamweaver from a computer in a computer lab, which means that somebody else could have access to your site. So if you're doing this on your own computer at home or on your laptop, then make sure that you have Save selected. If you're doing this in a lab, uncheck the Saved box and just enter your password every time that you connect to the server. Now right here we can test to make sure that we've entered in the right information, and success, we have. So I'll select OK. Now root directory, this is something that is very important for you to pay attention to because this will make it easier to upload your files. If I left this blank, when you connect to the web server in Dreamweaver, it would default just to the main folder with your name on it that they've set aside. That's fine and all, but that's not exactly where the web server is going to be looking. There's a folder in that folder, think about if you're in Finder and Explorer, that the web server looks at, and it's the www folder. So to prevent you from having to click on that folder every time you log in, we're going to set up the root directory to go automatically to that folder. So pay attention to what I type into this box. /home1 and then your JMU EID, so mine, and then all caps www and another /. Now the web URL is not quite correct, especially when you do it this way. The instructions from the EDUC web server tell us that it's educ.jmu.edu / the tilde and then your JMU EID. So there's mine. I can hit save, and now the server's in there. We don't necessarily have to work with the version controller advanced settings, but if you are curious about how those work, feel free to look at those, and you can look at some tutorials online to see how you can use these settings. But for now, those are the basics to get you set up. So we'll hit save, and we're good to go. Now, I'm going to click on this little button on the side here. This button expands to show local and remote sites at the same time. So let me move my box over and you can see what I'm talking about. On the left, it shows me what's going on the JMU server. On the right, it shows me my local files. Now, since I already saved out all of my files from Photoshop, they're sitting here in the folder that I created, that DuceTA folder that we talked about. So I'm going to click on these. I'm going to hold down the Shift key so I can select both my index file and my images. I'm going to select the Put button, and it's going to real quick upload everything to the server on the left. And you can see down here that it's working constantly to get all those files uploaded. Once everything's done, I can then go to the web server and access my page and see what it looks like. Now it's your turn.